Islamic Development Bank under OIC. So my perspective and horizon will be for the Islamic world, just 2 billion people, and what are the issues which we are facing as Ummah, and what are the things that are lacking the entrepreneurial culture in our part of the world. Just to give you a perspective, at the moment, US economy GDP is 16 to 17 trillion dollar. There are 270 million people. Japan, 128 million people. There are GDP of 5 to 6 trillion dollars. China, a billion people, with around 8 trillion dollar GDP. We as OIC, 57 Muslim countries, with almost 2 billion people on the planet, we are 8 to 9 trillion dollars, and 50 to 60% of that is oil and gas, which is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not man-made value-added products, which is a very alarming situation for all of us. This is just for self-analysis and self-actualization. Now, what are the key issues, I would say, after Second World War? Most of the Islamic world was colonized, and rest, I will not go deep down into the politics, but there's a huge issue of our education system does not encourage analytical and critical thinking. That lack someone who's coming out of university, there's a social fabric which is not ready to accept him as an entrepreneur. Most of our university graduates, then they graduate, the family wants them to join a multinational company, get married in 2 years, and follow a traditional path, because the society is not accepting failure. Only those young boys and girls have encouragement to become businessmen, whose father has been a businessman, or family is in business. But there is no hardly a young graduate, there is a lack of family support structure which supports a boy or a girl, go take risks, no problem, if you have failed, you can still rise up. So this is one thing very important, that we have to build a social fabric of failure, there's no problem, you can still start again. That's number one. So being a failure is a taboo. Whereas in America and Silicon Valley, recently I was going through different videos of venture capitalist industries. The new VCs, they say, we do not invest in someone who has not failed, because we don't want someone to take our money and take experiments. So over there, if you have few failures under your belt, that's success. So this crucial thing, one other thing is, try your kids to fail. Just to give you an example, my father stopped giving me pocket money when I was 20 years old. So last 14 years, I have not taken any pocket money. Being the only son, he was from a very good company, but still he says, my brain started working on a Ferrari speed. How can I earn my pocket money? How can I buy my next laptop? How can I go for my next child vacation? So I used to call, start companies, give me internship. I used to do small projects here and there. So because I owe that success to my father. And I think by the reason I'm sitting here, because he stopped giving me pocket money, there was no free money, no easy money. Go hunt yourself, do your adventures, buy your own books. So the tuition fees, everyone will say, but no extra luxury. So I think that was an excellent, amazing lesson my father did for me, which I learned a lot and I owe to him. So one other thing in Islamic world is a lot of free money for the kids. So if a 16 or 18-year-old boy having a Ferrari on his birthday, why he will wake up 8 o'clock in the morning and do a project? What will make him push to improvise? Because as you said, I'm sure you know Airbnb, now a $9 billion company, the founders created because they had no money to pay for their house rent in California. That was the only reason they started the company. Now it's worth $9 billion. But how many $9 billion companies are there in one MENA region? Which started Facebook, that started in 2014, in 12 years, that company has valued more than 80 or 90 billion dollars. Just out of how many companies we in 57 countries are there, started 12 years ago, valued $100 billion? None. So I think one basic factor, which I have always asked many serial entrepreneurs, let's imagine if Bill Gates and Steve Jobs was born in Jeddah, Riyadh, Karachi, Urdun, Marrakesh, or any part of the Islamic world, the world would have not seen Microsoft and Apple. We as society have to answer those questions. What is making our boys and girls, when they go to those economies, they flourish. But in our part of the world, they do not reach their true potential, which they should have reached. These are the questions our economic leaders, our political leaders, our financial leaders, and our academic leaders have to answer. Just to elaborate, I have developed an economic integration model by improvising that gives solution to the last part of the theme, which is we need to create a link between our universities, private sector, VC, and the entrepreneur himself. because all these components has to go in a puzzle to create an ecosystem, so that when this, let's consider an entrepreneur as a seed, and the ecosystem is a soil. If the seed is amazing, fantastic, but if the land is not fertile enough, the fruit will not be sweeter. This is happening in our society, my brothers and sisters, that there's amazing seeds, because unfortunately the land is not fertile, that seed is wasted and does not reach its true potential. I will close my remarks with the famous story of Hazrat Abdurrahman bin Auf radiallahu ta'ala anha. When he came to Medina Munawwara, when local Ansar offered him half of his property, half of his animal, and half of his assets, because he knew how to do business, he knew how to do trade, he just asked him, just show me where is the market, rest I will take care. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.